Hello, welcome to Anime Anonymous. I am CJ,
And this is Ace.
And I'm Jess.
and you are joining us as we feed your addiction this week with Horimiya. This one is a 13 episode anime. When did it come out? When did this come out? I don't remember.
Hot takes.
Yeah, I know, right? I should have looked this up, but it is what it is.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. 2021.
Okay, I was like, I don't think it was 2020.
I knew it had to be somewhat new.
Yeah, no, I knew it was new. I was like, it's not 2022. I should just guess 2021 because I was like, I don't feel like it came out 2020, but it could have. You never know. Because some animes, I'm like, wait, what? How old am I? It came out then?
I don't like those.
Good lord!
Start counting my years. I'm like, ooh,
Where the gray at? Oh my goodness!
You ain't that old.
No, that's like I feel like that was so long ago. Like the pandemic really made everything feel like ages ago.
Threw my whole biological clock off.
It's like what? That was 3 years ago, bro. That was 2021.
See, you mess it
Like,
up.
What? Hold on now.
That pandemic.
Yep. But this is not for lack of a better term, but for the majority of the anime, this is a romantic anime with comedy. I believe it would be slice of life as well. If it's not on the descriptions, that's stupid because it is a slice of life. You're just getting multiple slices of different people. But short, quick thought on it, like we usually do for animes. Really enjoyed this. I forgot how funny this anime was, and then I rewatched it, and I was dying in the first episode, and I was like, I forgot how great this show is. So you can obviously tell it's going to be high for me just from the short synopsis. What about you, Ace?
No, I completely agree. No, this was a great anime. Hilarious. Every character, I think I thoroughly enjoyed. Their interactions were just enjoyable. It's going to definitely be a high rating for me. I'm ready to get into it, but I do want to know, Jess, how do you feel about this anime?
Well, I've watched it twice, and I've actually started reading the manga because that's.
Ooh.
And the manga is pretty spot on. I will say that. It's not really missing anything between the anime and the manga, so that's really cool. But hilarious. Definitely opposites attract is the main theme. But hey, it's great. It's a great one. But I'm like Ace, I want to get into all the funny moments.
From what I have seen from people who have read the manga, because it's on my list to read too, but I just haven't read it.
It's great. It's great.
Is that it's the only difference between the manga and the anime is that the anime kind of shrunk a couple things that were drawn out and like funnier. Like some people are like they didn't even say the funniest joke in this scene. Blah blah blah
okay,
blah.
okay.
But,
All right, that's not hateful.
but they didn't change anything.
Yeah,
like
it's not
some
completely different.
mangas do.
It's
Now,
not
you
completely
know how
different.
some anime usually they flesh out details, and then the manga's like missing some of the information. Is that vice versa, or
I wouldn't say technically anime. Like, there's a lot of mangas that have a lot more information than the anime, but it's more so that you like to see it animated. Like, it transfers really well. Because, like, I don't think there's many anime that, like, really build on something that a manga already hasn't. Some do, but, like, that's technically quote-unquote filler because it's not in the original work.
okay?
But some people can vibe with that. But yeah, for the most part, just like books and movies. Like if a book is made into a movie, like they have to shrink things, right?
Yeah.
But so it's from what I've heard, like reading people and obviously what Jess is saying, that seems to be the same. Like it's a shortened version of the manga, but good translation.
The manga adds a couple more details, but it's not like stuff that needed to be animated.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They kind of just drag out scenes a little bit more, but I mean, it's reading,
entertaining.
Yeah, it's still entertaining. But anywho,
Yeah. So, jumping into it, the main two characters are Izumi Miyamura and Kyoku Hori, which combine their last names, and you have Horimiya. Izumi is Miyamura. We're just gonna call him that because Miya. Because literally everybody calls him that, and it even gets called on in the anime with one of his friends. He's like, everybody calls me, Toru, like my first name, and Miya tries to, and he just gets embarrassed. So Toru starts calling Miya his last name again. But Miya is at first just mistaken identity. But we will get into that because we have to talk a little bit about the other main character Kyoku Hori. Again, she has a not necessarily mistaken identity, but a secret identity. And not like a superhero secret, but like it's just but for most part she is very consistent throughout even her home life and her school life. The only just difference is that they don't really know. She kind of takes care of a lot of the homework because her mom is usually never there due to like overtime, etc. Right? But the biggest for his, it would be a secret identity. For Miya, yeah. Miya's got piercings. I think he says 9?
Four on each ear.
Yeah, so 4 on each ear.
That'd be 8.
And then he has the lip one.
Oh, that is one.
So 9.
Okay.
Math, I tell you. Woo!
But, even though we're all accounting.
yeah, God forbid. Good Lord. That's what this is how you know we do this for fun, right?
Yes.
The accounting brain is dead, right?
Oh, as soon as it turns 5 o'clock, I am out.
But yeah, he has 9 piercings ain't nobody know about. He's got tattoos.
He's got more tats than me.
He's ridiculous, right? Nobody knows that. Everybody who knows him from the school thinks he's like some shy weeb who's like super smart or something and like has like figurines. They even say that like in the first episode. So much happens in the first episode, right? You get introduced to them. You get introduced to some of the side characters. Well, they are side characters, but they're
the
main side characters. Yeah. So you have Yuki Yoshikawa, and then you have Toru, which I already said, Ishikawa, which, funnily enough, I just realized Yoshikawa Ishikawa. That's they both end in kawa. Like that's,
did not notice that.
That's just funny to me. But you meet them. You then have the goat of this anime, the brother. All right, that boy is the best wingman ever.
Souta.
He needs a trophy.
That boy was spitting facts all the time, bruh.
I was
Souta
so
is
proud
the
of
goat.
him. I was so proud of him. I'm like, if I had, and I have a brother, if I had a younger brother that was throwing me lobs like that.
Exactly. He was throwing just
oop after oop after
it's
oop.
like he was throwing it slow motion to everybody just so they could hit it. He was cracking me up. Like, so if you notice when you meet the real Miyamura very early when she everybody goes to play carry relax. When she goes to pick up Souta, right, from school, and she's walking home, Miyamura walks right by her before you knew that was Miyamura because he's all pierced up, has a lip piercing, and when they cross paths, he like looks back. And obviously now second second viewing, I obviously knew that was Miyamura because I've seen it before.
Right.
But when I first watched it, I was like, "Who's the dude that just looked at Hori?"
Yeah,
And
I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
So that like when she first picks Souta and they're walking up, he walks by them, right?
Okay.
And then later, when he's throwing lobs, Souta has a nosebleed, and
yeah.
she totally ignores the stranger that's there. She's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "All right,
yeah.
I'm just gonna roll out." And that's immediately where the comedy hits because she's like, "Oh shit, I was ignoring him the whole time."
Now I thought that was her motherly instinct.
It was, and that's why she was so zoned in on Souta. She didn't even notice the dude who brought him home. And then what did he do? Grabbed him. He's like, "Nah, I want you to stay." And she's like, "Yeah, you want to eat with us or something?" He's like, "Oh,
Wingman number one."
Mia's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll stay." And
that was clever.
and then they're cooking like they're not cooking, but like she sets the table, whatever. He goes, "Oh man, I would never expect to see you like this, Hori." And she's like, "Yeah," and then she's like, "Wait, Hori,
How do you know me?
you know my name?" He's like, "Yeah, we're in the same class." And the animated like
Shock face.
When she puts two and two together.
Classic.
Like that's the anime trope, but I love it.
Yeah,
every
I
time.
love it. You guys will literally.
Yeah.
You'll know exactly what we were saying. Please watch this one.
But that just cracks me up when they put two and two together, and then and again, first episode, you see passage of time, and passage of time happens, and it doesn't feel rushed, right? But you see they're hanging out a lot more, etc. And then one of the best scenes ever is in that episode too, with my man running. He's like,
Oh, the egg sale? The egg sale?
and then, the egg sale, bro. He's running, looking like a model. Freaking jumps over the fence.
Oh, okay? You're going way too fast.
Well, no, because realistically, after they start hanging out, and then
she's like, "Hey, I'm trying to make dinner. Can you go get the eggs from the grocery store?"
No, that's not what she says at all.
No, Miyamura's
got
the sale thing, and then or Hori, I can't remember who, but anywho, not.
And what was the sale on?
The sale was on the eggs.
On eggs.
And
okay,
she was like,
and she
then she goes, "Oh, okay. So hopefully I don't have a student
meeting.
council meeting at the end of school." And so Mia did not offer at that time, and then all of a sudden you hear over the intercom.
No, he didn't.
No.
She literally goes the day before. She's like, "As long as I don't have an emergency meeting, I'm good." Because he's like, you realize the sales ends at 4, right? That's half an hour before or after school, because they get out half an hour before the sale.
Right.
And then she's like, "Yeah, as long as I don't have a meeting." And then it's like, "Hey, council members," and she's like, "Damn it." And then she runs out. She texts him.
Yeah, they go get it.
And then he's like, "Huh?" And that's why he runs.
Yeah, but y'all were saying that she didn't ask for him to go do that.
No, not initially.
Right,
No,
of course.
initially she didn't, but
But when she had to, which is where he was
then
at.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
I'm literally gonna go minute for minute in the episode.
That was pivotal. I enjoyed that scene a lot.
Exactly. That scene was hilarious. And then he just pops over the fence.
And poor Yuki
looking
looked like she was
a
petrified.
god.
Yeah, I was like,
Yuki
bro.
was like, "Who's the hot dude?" And then he's like,
He had
"Sorry,
bounce too, like
egg time."
Yeah,
And he just dashes away in the most anime run.
I enjoyed that scene so much. I was like, okay, I'm enjoying the character. He has two different sides. Man, that literally makes me want to jump to the end when he cuts his hair.
Well, he does, but that's
he
that's
turns
not
up,
even the end. That's
But not the end.
mid,
Yeah.
a little after mid. Yeah.
Man, I'm just like, he is literally getting better as a character, better in his own slice of life in that school world, and then he's growing on you the entire time.
Yeah, he has a really good growth arc in this, from beginning to end, I think it was a really good story, right? They tied it off really well. He even quote unquote confronts himself right at the very end, and that was such a good thing.
Was icing on the cake.
It
I wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah, no, it was just really well done. And like even when he has like his moments, because I mean, you think about it, right? If you have been basically solo, minus his last year in middle school when that one guy took him under his wing, Shiori, something like that.
I know you're talking
about Shindo.
Yeah, you got me.
That's spot
on. He was solo, and people always messing with him just because he's quiet, right? Just because he's quiet, he's automatically creepy. Like that's stupid.
Right. I mean, we know that now, but
no, I mean, period. Like if I translate, even though I know anime is anime, that's one of the reasons I like slice of life is because I can translate it to real world, which is why I sometimes vibe with characters more. So I'm like, if I saw him in the real world, I wouldn't have been like, that dude's a creepy dude. Like, that'd be stupid to me. Like, why are you automatically assuming he's creepy just because he's quiet? Yeah, I have plenty of quiet friends.
Yeah, I was saying that I've seen it in middle school where the quiet kid is getting picked on. So that's why I was, like, correlating it to that.
Yeah, and that's why that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally have never, I'm like, why is that the first thing you go to, right? Like,
well, everybody has their own cliques, and like if you're left out in a clique and everybody else is a clique, like you're gonna get left out, picked on.
Exactly.
Because it's follow the leader. It's literally follow the leader. It happens in kindergarten, elementary school, middle school. There's the one head honcho. They start one thing, and if everybody supports that one person, it all goes through the whole class.
Yeah, which
happens to this day.
I think it was done really well. That's what I'm saying. If you take that and put that to real world, you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. He's been like that his whole life. And then in the span of 1 year, gets a really great friend / romantic interest, and then 3 other friends right after, and then friend network keeps growing. He's going to second guess it sometimes. He's like, well, shoot, if that one random thing didn't happen, I'd still be, getting picked on, etc. And I love those moments because every time he did, Hori picked him up. She's like, nah, that's too many random occurrences.
Right.
Like, it's just, it was really well done. That's why I feel like their romance is really organic. And, like, I was here for it the whole time. Like what's her name? Banished in the Heroes Party. Mm-hmm. Like, I really liked their romance, too. Yeah. This was more of an early to mid, because we're not even kind of really at the end of that relationship yet. Well, Banished, you kind of saw a flashback of their early, and they were already, like, middle when we got into anime, and they're right at the end of the anime. Like, that's settled. Like, that is a done relationship, right? Mm-hmm. But I really, really loved that side of it, and just the random humor. Like, it's just like, you don't expect
comedy gold.
Like Hori, freaking posted up at the boys' bathroom trying to see if they're gonna call his name.
Oh yeah, because I was like, you went so hard to hide and try and stalk him to get his name because you just forgot it. And I'm like, she went to the classroom and literally tried to read off the student.
Yeah, but the teacher took it already.
And she's like,
oh. And then she goes to the bulletin board with all the smart kids' names.
She's like, damn it, wish you were smart. Like, if you weren't stupid, I would know.
Oh my goodness, that was so much fun.
The reason I like that scene, the boys' locker room scene, is because right after she gets comedy. Yeah. So, like, she literally doesn't even whisper. She's like, come on, guys, ask him his name. And then, like, the green-haired loud guy is like, Hori, what the hell? And then when Yuki and her are walking, Yuki's like, are you good? Like, are you, like, stressed and pent up? And and Hori's like, yeah. And Yuki's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I was so happy with that response. I'm like, come
because Hori's frustrated and pent up about something else.
Right.
And Yuki's talking about another frustrated and pent up.
I enjoyed it. It was literally so much gold. I was like,
so good.
I enjoyed it so much.
Oh, man. But oh man, what's a couple of your favorite scenes? Because I know you have a lot of them.
I mean, probably going more towards I really loved when the mom came into the anime.
Oh, the mom was great.
The mom was hilarious.
And she got the lane first.
Yeah. Oh, such a beautiful name. And Hori's like, damn it! She sent me on errands so she can talk
But
to
I'm like,
him.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you have a younger brother. Like, just talk to your younger brother.
Yo, Hori had a one-track mind, right? She wasn't thinking logically.
And she's like the smartest one.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I was like, oh my goodness, this girl's stressing out about a name. But what was so funny is throughout the whole anime, they barely said each other's first name.
Yeah.
Like, you really didn't hear it often from them.
No. I mean, which that's you can kind of relate that. Like I have my buddy Andrew is his first name, but I call him Head because his last name is Head, right? Like everybody called him Head, right? Like nobody called him Andrew. It's weird. Right. There's a lot of people like what's her name? When I was in college, also, see, I can't remember her first name, but Wombeck. Like she, her last name was very unique, so I can remember it. I was like Wombeck. She was like, "What's my first name?" I don't know. She was like, "You need to learn my first name," and now I've forgotten it again.
But no one uses it.
But yeah, like it was like there you can translate that, but I think that is. It might be, again, not Japanese, so don't quote me. But in a lot of anime, they do reference people by their last name because it's a more respectful kind of thing.
Right. I would think the more first name was if you had a more strong personal relationship with that individual. That's why, like,
which is Toru.
Hori, like, says Toru's name, says, Yuki's name. So that's why I always thought it was funny how, like, she could not say the person that she's like falling for.
That's what made her go that hard. I think to find it out, right?
Yeah. Like it's.
She was like, "I love this guy."
She does call him Izumi sometimes, but they're usually by themselves when she does.
It's when they're having their intimate moments.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but she calls him Miyamura, but everybody calls him that, right?
Right.
So, but for him, he calls everybody by their last name because he's just too embarrassed to like. Say their first name. Yeah. So
still has his guard up.
Yeah, he does. So it's funny and like when he had his guard up with Toru, right? Like Toru's like
their relationship.
Toru's like
they're like best
creepy.
Friends,
he's like arrow through the heart, creepy. He's like you're annoying. It's like and you're this, and he just gets hit over the head, and he's like, but that's fine. And I was like, exactly.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
fine.
I
don't want you to change. You're my friend, and that's how I want you to stay. I was like, you know what, Toru? What's his name?
Is it Toru Ishikawa, I think?
Toru?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Great
enjoyed
guy.
it. Now,
Great guy.
Another interaction with Toru. When they're in the room.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And he's confessing like, hey, do you really love Hori? Or is it just like a thing? But Hori really does love you. He's like, nah. He was like, no, because she turned me down and rejected me. So I know this.
He's like, no, she just likes me as a friend. No, she really likes you.
And they threw hands, bro.
And then he like accidentally hits him. He's like, oh, my bad. And then he just flips his switch. He's like, yo, time out. And he's like, it was self-defense. He's like, you're beating the crap out of me. It is not self-defense.
And they show up at school and the girls are like, what?
Yeah, like Hori. Well, because Miyamura shows up first and he has a thing on his face. And Hori's like, who did this? He was like, well, Toru. And she was like, I can't believe he beat you. He's like, well,
not
actually,
exactly.
I only didn't miss the first one. And Toru is jacked up.
He comes walking in with bruises, a black guy.
But that was so funny because like right after he gets off saying self-defense, he's like, bruh, you just beat me. Like, you okay? He was like, no, I was actually kind of pissed at you too. He was like, you're not supposed to admit that.
And everyone was so shocked when they saw that he had pretty much no damage, just that little one bruise. They're like, wait a minute.
Toru
you murdered him. Y'all need to talk it out right now.
But like, nah, it was just there's so
great.
like this whole anime is like a highlight reel of just either funny moments or just really good moments. Like another good moment like is when they're kind of having their what if moment, you know, right? Like later, like we're gonna graduate soon, right?
Oh,
And I mean, obviously this is going ahead, right? But like when they're walking home and she kind of quotes what he said because he's like, you know, when they first started dating, she was like he said, I don't know much about you, but I'd really like to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she reverses that and she's like, you know, I still don't know much about you, and we have not too much time left. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, we still have a lot of time. And that became more of a emotional scene because she's like really feeling it. At first, he's kind of blowing it off like, no, we have more time. And then he looks back and sees like, oh, she's serious about this. Like, and then what does he do? Steps up immediately. Let's get married.
Right. I'm like, okay,
My man,
I'm supporting it.
0 to 100. He said, oh, wait, my girl is feeling stressed.
Right.
Marriage.
I was like, I support it, but that was kind of fast.
And but in the moment, I'm just like, perfect, great, good job, Mia. Because like, and then it turns into a slightly comedic one because she's like, I'll make you happy. He's like, isn't that what the guy says?
Right, yeah.
And she was like, no, that doesn't make sense. She was like, I'm annoying. I'm needy. I do all the housework because I won't trust you to do it. So no, I'll make you happy.
He was so supportive. Another scene that I really enjoyed was when Mia stepped up to defend Hori. So
I was gonna say that one.
yeah,
So I'm happy.
so when
you
they're
said
in
that.
the hallway and Remy up there fucking up, she up there dropped all the documents and the
Yep.
forms for the committee. She literally said out her mouth, "Oh, we don't need that file of financials as an accountant. As a financials. Oh, just throw that in the trash."
Throw it out.
Man, and then she gets pressed and literally lies and says, I don't know what happened. This is what Hori gave me. This is everything I have. Da, da, da. And she's the one that told him.
Admittedly, she wasn't lying. She did forget.
But she knew.
No, she didn't know until right when our boy
Mia stepped up.
Mia.
Oh,
and
he's
she's like, no, I did. And
Man,
they're like,
and he headbutts
Yo,
the chief.
that
I was
was-
like, grimy, but
yeah,
different. I like it.
I like the build up to it because he was like, Toro.
Oh yeah, he was all the way in the back too.
He's like, hold my bag and glasses. I'm like,
this man.
what's he about to
this.
do? My man grabbed it. Boom!
I'm like, oh!
and then the vice president, she's like, violence is prohibited.
I wanted him to throw hands. I was literally like, look, bro, I know you just kind of destroyed Toru. Please. But then you realize, like,
Well, no,
the president.
Wasn't that before their fight? Or was that after their fight? I want to say that was before their fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before their fight.
So we knew he could he got hands. He could have definitely messed up the redhead president of the committee.
No. What I'm saying, the headbutt happened before him and Ishikawa's fight, I want to say.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened before.
Right.
So we didn't know he could throw hands, but that showed...
Ishikawa's fight
It felt like he
happened
could throw hands.
a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
that
later.
showed, like, his
Desire to protect Hori.
yeah,
and-
like, his, like, strength of... Because, like, you look at it, he's a pretty timid character, except for certain times. Like, so you can see he can defend himself, and if he thinks he needs to, he'll defend the person that he cares about, right?
Yeah, I was all for it.
Yeah,
I was
and
literally
because Toru's like, if you had the paper, why didn't you just come out with it first? Why did you headbutt him? He's like, oh, he was annoying me. Like, what?
Sometimes his reasoning is probably my first thought, but I actually have like a job of character, so I can't actually just go around and headbutt people.
Hey, bro.
But I was like, you know what? They was about to make your girl cry, and you was like, I'm not having it. Yep. He stepped up to the plate. I was like, hey.
Just another...
More points in my book.
Man, another one that I liked. When they're having their slight little fight, and Hori knows it's her fault because, like, she stops talking. No, well, it's right before that.
Okay.
When he tells her he loves her, and then he dips.
Oh,
and she goes,
when she was sick. Okay.
So she stays sick. Souta again, bruh. Yeah, big bro was walking with some girl. She's like, what?
Huh? What?
Huh? What? Okay, no, it's probably just friends. So what was it? Yeah, she was basically wrapped around his arm.
I was like, yeah, get her out of bed and back to school.
Funniest thing. She was like, huh? What was it? What? Oh, she had a different uniform on. She like drops everything.
Drops the food. I'm like, you are slipping, Hori.
And so there's such a savage. She's like, don't drop the food. What's wrong with you?
So was great.
The brother was key. He was
AKA
pivotal.
The GOAT.
Yes, he's clearly the GOAT. We have to name this title. Something
Souta
about
the GOAT.
Facts. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
Souta.
man. Yeah, he's
Sota's
definitely
great.
the GOAT for sure.
Souta was good, man.
Okay.
Another funny. Oh, go ahead, Jess.
No. If we're talking their family.
No,
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to go into.
So the dad.
Yes,
Dad.
Jess, you were literally reading my mind.
Okay. So like Hori's like basically, a mother figure, all that. Mom's barely in the picture. Then mom shows up and you find out she's
unfortunately, like she is a good mom, but yeah.
But like she shows up and then all of a sudden this rocker gray hair looking dude shows up on the doorstep. And you have Mia's the first one that answers the door, right? Or I'm trying to remember it right. Who was at the door?
No, I think he just walked in.
Oh yeah, he just walks in. And you're just
because it was
like,
right after they just reconciled after her throwing books at him and stuff.
And they were about to kiss.
Like yeah, they were having a romantic moment. I think we're not sure if they were going to. I think they might have been.
They were watching the movie and she was like,
No.
You don't make the move. She's literally asked,
No. That's way later.
No.
You're talking about
they were just
later.
like looking at each other and all of a sudden like the dad walks in and he's like, hi. Did I interrupt something?
Yeah, he's like...
And you're just like, who are you and how did you... Who are you? And then...
Yeah, he just walks in and they're like...
Hori says, like, the name. Doesn't say dad. So you're just like, who the heck is this
his name
guy?
like Kyoko or something?
What is his name? I don't know.
Well, he said he's a Hori too.
Yeah.
Kyosuke.
Yeah. Says the first name.
But she always calls him Kyosuke.
Okay.
She's like, Kyosuke, what are you doing here? And then, like, Mia's like, who's this?
Right.
Like a... Nah, it can't be your dad. Oh God, it is her dad.
and they're going to like. And then the mom the Souta shows up. The mom shows up. They're like, well, we don't have enough for dinner. And Mia's like, I can go home.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's
Yeah.
still
You're a priority. Your seat's here.
Yeah. The funniest thing is like Souta and the mom were more like OG than Kyoku, so Hori, technically at that moment, because she was like, "Oh, see, Kyosuke, you luck out. Mia's headed home, so you can." The mom was like, "Oh, we have Mia's, we have Souta," and then the dad's like, "Hey, whoa,
I live here. This is my house."
He's like, "Why does he get priority?" But like the funniest parts about the dad, like when he first meets him, he's like, "Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you have long hair?" It's like, Dad, have you literally looked in the mirror? And then he's like, "Oh, so is this your boyfriend?" And then that's when she goes, "Yeah, so what?" So then they start dating at that time.
And I was happy. I was like, finally.
Yeah.
Somebody admits to it.
And then he goes, "You can't have my daughter." She's like, "I'm just kidding. I always wanted to say that."
The other funny part was he got all the used utensils. So
the disposable
disposal.
shots.
He's like, Nani, what? Why is all my stuff disposable? And then they're like, they just ignore me. He's like, hey, why are you ignoring me? And the mom's always like, so when are you leaving? He's like, what? Am I not welcome at my own place?
Well, technically, this is not his place.
Well, he's never there.
Right. Oh, man. What was another scene that was funny? Now, when the dad was trying to have one-on-one time with his son, I was uncomfortable.
What, you didn't like how, if your future father-in-law just comes up to you and says,
Nah.
we'll bathe together, or we'll sleep in the same room right next to each other.
Nah.
You have a deep conversation right before bed and he passes out.
Yeah, he passes out. That was that was the most obvious fake sleeping.
I was like...
He's like, are you still up? Like the most obnoxious snoring.
And I was like, come on, Souta. Try to finesse where you can stay with your dad. He can stay with
Nah.
Souta didn't want his dad. He's
No,
like,
Souta-
you can sleep with me, big bro.
Yeah.
No, he's sleeping with dad. Huh?
I was like, so close.
But then, like, I mean, there's just so many scenes, like, especially with Souta and the dad, since we're talking about them. Like, Christmas, when, like, he can't really hang
When
around.
Mia can't come to Christmas, they
Yeah.
freak out.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
'cause he's
Corey's,
working, right?
Corey's like, you realize he's dating me, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because he's leaving, and he's like, Mia, big bro, Mia Mara. Like, he's literally my boyfriend.
Hey, y'all better not follow me when I walk him home. No, that was gold. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that relationship was funny.
Now, the other part with the green-haired girl.
You Sakura.
Oh, Sakura.
Short
How do
hair.
how do you guys feel about her growth or just her character development in general with Toru and
And Yuki?
yeah?
That whole dynamic that happened?
How do you guys
I
feel
mean-
about that?
I mean, we had a conversation.
No, go ahead.
We like,
I talk way too much.
I
so
know
go
you
ahead.
do. But everybody loves your voice, babe. It's okay.
Especially me.
I was like feeling both characters. Like I felt bad for Yuki, but then I felt bad for Sakura probably more because she was actually putting the effort in. But I totally get Yuki's side. Like she is a people pleaser, and that relates a lot to me because I probably still am, but not as much a people pleaser. Like
Beat the snot out of her.
Like she, I mean,
We're
you saw
recording.
it. You saw it. Like
Yeah.
you saw it at the bookstore. Yuki gave up the book that she was like gun ho looking for, and even Hori was like, "Yuki, why'd you let them have it? Like you've been looking for this." It's like she wanted it more. Like, huh?
Man,
Yeah.
we know she
You don't
wanted
even
more.
know that
Yeah.
woman like, or that
See-
person. Like,
And when we first watched this, I knew she would vibe with Yuki because,
Yeah.
like, before we met, like, good lord, like, it was way worse than I thought because, like, she and I had talked about it, but, like, I'd be sitting there, like, vibing or with my friends or something, and she'd, like, call me, hey, my friends are going such and such, can I go? I'm like, what? Why are you asking me? The hell? Because, like, her boyfriend before, like, she had to clear everything with him, which was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. I was like, stop it. Don't. I was like, unless it's somewhere dangerous
Right.
or super late.
Right.
And even if it's super late, just tell me. Like, hey, yo, I'm coming back to the room late or whatever.
Right.
Cool. Have fun. So I stopped that real quick. I was like, do not text me or call me about this foolishness. Go have fun. What the hell? But that's why Yuki kind of annoyed me. But again, I can understand it, right?
Yeah.
But I still personally think that Sakura was the better girl, not the better girl for Toru, because you knew even when he was still crushing about Hori, there was a relationship that he and Yuki had, right? Like they were always together. There had to be something there. And I know, because I know you can be friends with the opposite sex and not have feelings for them. right? I've been there, but just their dynamic seemed like there was something there, and then you find out later on that he is crushing on her, and you already knew she liked him. So while I think Sakura was the better girl, not the better girl for him, I think he and Yuki match really well. That's the only reason why I don't dislike Yuki, because like, and I can't say she does call herself out on her BS. Like she does say it. She's like, I'm horrible. Like I'm a liar. Like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, you kind of redeem yourself with that. Like, kind of redeem. But like, if I had to rank her, like I don't dislike her, but she's definitely not up there. Right?
So you're Yuki over Sakura.
No, I like Sakura way more than I like Yuki.
Okay.
Like I could vibe with Sakura way more than I can with like Sakura just is real. I like real people, right? And so Yuki in her own way is kind of two-faced. So I'm not a really big fan of that. But Sakura, like, so when she had her like breakdown, I was like, my girl, I feel bad for you. And then like the president is just like, it hurts more, like in his head, because if he said that out loud, I'm like, yo, you need to get decked. But he's like, it hurts more because nobody's in the wrong. Because nobody is in the wrong. But it's like you couldn't like pat her on the shoulder or something, bro. Like you just gonna let her just cry in front of you,
like break down,
like
cry.
She is bawling. You can at least just kneel down, just
something.
They're there, like something, dude.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable to watch.
He just looks through the window.
Like, he's like, this is definitely not my role.
It's like, man, this is the first time anybody in my grades cried in front of me. Like
it's like that. Yeah,
that's your first thought.
He was like, I don't want to be here, but I know my role. I can't just leave her here. They're gonna think it's me. No, that was definitely an uncomfortable scene. I can laugh at it now because I'm talking about demons, but at first I really was favoring Sakura. So I wanted them to kind of give it the shot. I felt that Sakura was making Toru way more happier than Yuki was. And because Yuki was scared to kind of be honest with herself and him, I'm like, you was late. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. And if you ain't want to speak up and tell them how you feel and take that opportunity, or at least figure it out. But then spoke to you like weeks ago about it, and I was like,
oh yeah, you were like, why didn't she tell him? Like,
and I was like, But then, at the end, they're like, all right, they do have a lot in common. They are very close. They trust each other. And then, like, once I started, like, understanding, like, their romance has a basis of their friendship, I was like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand. But I still kind of like Sakura a little better.
They will, in theory, have a much stronger relationship since they started out as friends and then going, because they know so much about each other. But like even after that little set piece, right, of him, that little triangle, their interactions are kind of funny because they both know without them saying that they like each other.
Right.
So like when he brings her over to his house.
Oh yeah.
And, like,
what was that, his sister?
No, that was their maid.
Okay,
like,
the maid.
Basically the maid. He like locks the door. She's like, why are you locking the door? Like, what? And so he like unlocks it because he doesn't want her to feel uncomfortable, and then they're good. And then when he's yelling at the maid, she's like, don't do anything. He's like, I definitely won't do anything now that I know you're here. And then Yuki plays that in her head. She's like, wait a minute.
He was planning on doing something?
If she wasn't here, he would try something. And she gets all flustered. Right. He's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, what did I do now? Like, like that little part was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I was literally like, you can tighten up.
Yeah.
No, you can't tighten up in those situations.
Nah, because she's overthinking. I was like, And girls do this. This is something that specifically
That's why I
girls
can
do.
relate to her.
This is why we have a girl on the podcast.
Right.
All
I was
right,
like,
okay. You
do
have
it.
your crush, okay, and you get taken to your crush's room. Immediately when he closes the door, the first thoughts that go to your head is like, is he gonna kiss me? What is he gonna do? What are we gonna do now? We're in closed rooms. There's no parents. There's no adults. Like, what the heck are we gonna do?
That is true. He did say like his parents were there. She's like, oh God, his parents are here.
Okay, you
He
think
can't win. He can't win.
you're like, no.
Nah, I was like, Yuki, you need to woman up. I don't know. Like
She was. Oh my gosh, this girl is what? Probably 14, 15, 16.
I think they're like mid-teens or something like that.
Okay, she's not hoary. Okay, she didn't have the fast track of growing up. She's a younger sibling, so she's going to have an immature mindset. At that age, is
Nah,
perfectly
I
fine.
don't think that. I think she's a little too old to have that mindset.
No, I mean I can vibe with it. Like if she's not.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm thinking
no, I
about it.
don't want to get it.
No, hey.
I ain't backing down on
No,
it.
it's like,
You
that's the thing.
knew, and that wasn't the first time she came over. So
Yeah, but the first time she came over was to play games, and his parents were
Exactly.
probably there.
so
Right.
that just broke the ice of like,
Yeah,
this is a
but
safe
then
place.
this time, but he probably, because she wouldn't have reacted that way if everything played out the same way, right? So he walks in, he's like, I'm home. She's like, why are you whispering? When they walk in, and then she goes to the room. He like looking around. She's like, why are you looking around? And she's like, if I'm not supposed to be there, like I can go. He's like, no, you're fine. And then he closes the door and locks it. She's like, what the hell is going on? Because
Like, why would you close the door and lock it if you're gonna play video games?
She is not ready.
Because you have a maid that is literally.
Well,
intrusive.
how would she know that though?
I'm just saying, nope.
No,
She
you
need to
are
be- she need
going
to be
off
with it.
of. You are no, she doesn't.
She need to be with.
No,
the shit.
she doesn't. If she is not ready, she doesn't need to be with anything. She was not ready, and that was making her uncomfortable. Granted, that's not what he meant at all.
No.
But then he did the right thing. He was like, if this is making her feel uncomfortable, unlock. Because he's like, you're getting the wrong vibe. But yeah, no, ain't nothing she should be with. If that's in her mind, she's like, wait, he's trying to get some playtime with me.
Let me backtrack a little bit.
Uh-huh,
'cause-
yeah.
No. It's not no I'm saying if you're literally like going to just get flustered on the what if part. Calm down, Jess.
I'm getting ready to fire.
The what if part. That part I'm saying I don't think you should have jumped to conclusions on what if the family member wasn't here, then maybe he would try something. All that little 5 count off you just did earlier.
Okay.
That part,
Okay.
I'm like,
This
calm
is why.
down.
This is
Get-
why God
sit
made
down,
men and
play the
women
game.
very differently.
And I don't understand. Look, the game plan was to come over, play the game. She should have been like, come
But
over,
the
play the
scenario's
game.
changed.
I'm just saying,
He
you can
made
always
moves.
communicate and say
He
no.
made-
I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable. What she did, the part where she's like letting her mind wander off, I'm like, all right, you doing too much. Like,
That's
you
a
know,
woman thing.
Yeah, but they have the
We
best friend
overthink.
relationship.
We overthink on everything.
Hey, I didn't enjoy.
I'm
that
admitting
part.
it to it.
The overthinking part, I don't get it.
That's because you're a man. You don't get it.
I'm like, the whole point is to play the game.
That's
Let's
why-
just focus on that.
That's why men don't overthink. So that way, when we overthink, you guys can tone us back down.
Well,
Man,
and
that don't stress me out.
that's why he said he was like, we came over here to play games, and then they
Right.
brought her down. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only part. Not
Okay.
saying that she can't say no to any other intercourse or any advances that he may or may not have made. That's not what I'm saying. I'm always consent first at all times, no matter what, all that. And they can always stop and say no at any time. I respect women. I want to make that clear. That's what I was saying. The mind rambling part, I'm like, all right, relax. You're doing too much.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's a normal thing for a lot of girls though. Is a lot of what ifs, and that's unfortunately because of one stereotypes with stuff that's happened. So it is what it is. I mean, the thing is, it happens to guys too, but a lot of people don't know because again, what machismo? A guy doesn't want to sound like he's been taken advantage of, right? Or the system doesn't listen to it. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
You got your different things that you have, right? That we have to quote unquote live up to. So it's an interesting thing to think about, but that would be a whole different type of podcast.
Now, hypothetically, you think Sakura would have been with it?
What, like?
No. Nah. Mm-mm. No, she's just as shy, if not shyer than Yuki. Because Yuki is a people pleaser. Sakura has always looked at herself like she is a
beneath others.
Yeah, or ugly, because like they called her Beast,
nice.
Right? Like, which is the dumbest thing because
her best
she didn't
friend
even look bad at all.
I'm like, y'all took that a little.
Yeah, it's
because I mean, what's that? I don't know. What's it? Duff. Basically,
oh yeah, the movie.
Sakura was a Duff.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
She's not bad. But
no, like, but that's the thing. Like, she wasn't. But like, people just have to make fun of people for some reason because she's like, even what's his name? Like the student president. Like when they were in middle school.
Yeah, he was bullied.
He was like, no. Like he was like, I don't see, or not in middle school, but like I guess second years because he.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you're about to say.
He was like, they're like, oh yeah, aren't they? He's like, they both look normal to me. They're like, no, she's way cuter. He's like, no, they both look normal to me. Like, that's the thing. He was more attracted to pink-haired girl Remy later on after they started communicating. But like, he probably, if he and Sakura had started talking, he probably would have dated her. Yeah. So like, that's why I was like, he's a funny character, but like that part, I was like, yeah, good job, dude. Yeah. Because I'm like, the heck are they talking about Beauty and the Beast? What? Huh?
I was like, first off, ain't nobody in this anime looks like a beast in this anime. I'm like, come on, y'all are reaching. But I do like, what's the redhead guy's name again?
Oh, the student council?
Yeah.
What's his last name? Sengoku.
Mm-hmm. Oh, One Piece. Shout out to my One Piece. But yeah, Sengoku, I definitely liked his mediation. The way he was mediating between a lot of the relationships and communication between characters. I definitely liked that. He also kind of shocked me on his truth of being kind of picked on by Hori.
That was funny.
And then he kind of comes into his he's like, in high school, we stopping all of that.
Yeah, he was like, you're gonna talk to me with an honorific.
And then he was like, say it down, say my name. He was like,
she's like, Goku san. Like she tried, but like
that was even funny.
That was funny. And they're like, they have history. Right? Like she's just like, we just known each other so long. They're like, you're avoiding this question.
Right.
He's got dirt on you. But I mean, because
I thought he was a bad guy, quotes.
At first, yeah.
Yeah, because he was I don't want to say forcing, but maybe just for the conversation, forcing her to do all of the student council work. And I'm like, dang, what's going on? Why are you doing all this extra work and tired and no credit? And then that led into her getting like ridiculed for missing one of the financial documents that wasn't even her fault in the first place.
Yeah. No.
I was like, I don't like you, Sengoku.
Yeah, at first you think the whole student council's jerks because like Sakura's backing him up. Like she's like, are you sure? Like, really? Like, we can't get this done because you didn't give it to us.
Right.
So, like, I'm like, yo, F this chick, too.
Yo.
And then, like, you realize, like, they're just going about their business as they, as they know, right? Because as far as they know, Remy gave them everything. And it wasn't there. But good old Miyamura. Yeah. Headbutting everybody.
My God.
Headbutting champion. He and what's his name? Oh, my gosh. From the oh my gosh, why can I not think of that anime now? Water breathing anime where they're like doing the demon hunting.
No, I'm out.
Demon Hunter.
Oh, demon.
He headbutts everybody too.
Bro, when you said water breathing, I literally what popped in my head was Avatar: The Last
Yeah, no. Water breathing like first
but it's the
form.
demon slayer.
Yeah, he's always headbutting everybody, and demons
Yes.
are like, "Why is your head so hard, bro?"
He does headbutt all the time,
That's like his special move.
especially when he's like injured and can't do anything.
Yeah,
else.
just headbutt.
I'm like, really?
And like that's
Yep.
like the thing. Like demons are like every time they're like, "What the hell? Why is this dude's head so hard?"
Great.
Nah, that's facts. That's
But
facts. Man.
So I have one
Go
scene
ahead,
that I love.
Because
Okay.
I have one in my head that we
So-
gotta talk about.
Okay,
Alright.
so it might be the one I'm thinking. We might be on the same wavelength, but it's okay.
Then let's eat.
So, okay. And then
Damn hungry mofo!
I'll make it quick.
right there
I'll
with
make
This
it
restaurant that we're going to after this podcast,
I'm right there with you.
Top notch.
Anyway, let's go.
Okay. So I forget who's the one who came up and said like they had. I think it was the pink hair guy, right? That had a crush on Hori. Like,
No.
No, it wasn't him.
No, the pink haired was on Yuki. It
Yeah.
was
Who was
green
the-
haired. It was a green haired guy.
Oh, okay. It's the
the
green.
model looking guy.
Anyway, and like Mia's like
My model hair guy is the pink haired guy.
would you hit Hori? And he goes, no, I would never hurt her.
He's like, I could never
And then,
do that.
And then Mia goes, you can never be with her. And you're like, yeah, that's true because you find out.
Daiki, Mizuchi, him.
Oh, okay, that guy. That's why he's way down
I
there
get
on
the
the
part
list.
that you're talking about now. Yeah,
So,
I'm with you.
And then all of a sudden, like, you start seeing this relationship dynamic where you find out Hori has a kink
Yeah.
of being beaten and yelled at and cussed at. Like,
Well, it's not necessarily a kink she's had.
Right.
It's because Miyamura is so pleasant with her all the time.
She just wants a different reaction.
Like you see when it starts because she was like, like you're always yelling at Toru and Shindo and like you even punched him and stuff. She's like, I'm just wondering, like, is the you with me the real you or is that the real you?
Right.
Which is a fair because like
I knew what
she's
she was
like,
doing. I was
no, because she's like, I can understand that because like it's like, is he always just putting a front on with me because like he's always happy? Like I've been there before, like with an ex that we'd never had any disagreements. There is no relationship you will never have a disagreement. And I'm like, bruh, nah, what's going on here, right? But that one obviously didn't work out. We got Jess. So
and she's literally grabbing the glass. I'm joking.
but that's why she says that. So he's like, what? Like, you want me to hit you? And she was like, no. Then she thinks about
Wait a
it.
minute.
She's like, that'd
Yeah.
be kind of hot. And that's when it starts. And then going off of, go ahead with the scene.
This scene, like Hori's walking out to Miyamura out of school, and you got the two guys behind her, and Miyamura just goes smack.
Oh, see, you totally skipped it.
Which one?
No, the scene that he talks about Mizuchi with. Like, he was like, you can't be a Hori. And Hori walks up. She was like, oh, you keep losing your phone. He's like, listen here, little bitch. All right?
Yeah.
Shut up. Leave me alone. Like, he leaves him. And Mizuchi's like, oh my God, Hori, are you okay? And Miyamura's like, leave her alone.
Yeah, no, like, I was like, nothing.
And then, like, they show her face and she's grinning, but Mizuchi didn't see it. Mizuchi walks to him and, like, he talks to Miyamura. Miyamura's, like, red-eyed. He's like, are you okay? It looks like you've been crying. He's like, if you can't handle that, you can't be with Hori.
That's great.
But yeah, the scene you're talking about was the scene I was thinking of, where like his bullies who had already got beaten up by her one off rip when they were walking, she was in a bad mood.
Oh, at the grocery store.
They're at the,
Yes.
well, no, they had already got beaten up with.
You're talking about the two that were at the
Yeah,
grocery
that
store.
were at the
Okay,
grocery.
okay,
Yeah. So she walks out, and like the one bully's like talking to her like, and they're like, no, we're just doing community service, and they're like, yo, leave her alone. Like that is a monster. Like she would beat the snot out of you. And he's like, yo, really? Like she's a monster? Mm-hmm. They're like, well, next time I see a Miyamura, I'm gonna beat him up. And they see that he's there, and she's like happily walking to him. That man just smacks the snot out of her. And then she walks away and they're like, huh? He's a monster too. He can just straight up smack a girl on the broad street.
No, that was hilarious.
And she's so happy.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. She's like the happiest, go-luckiest girl in the world after that.
Like when they're walking and Shindo's like stalking them and she's like, just one. And he's like, no, just come on, just one, just a little one. He's like, no, stop it. She's like, you don't love me. And Shindo's like, what's going on? How dare you not do this for her? He's like, if I can help Hori, I will. She's like, no, it has to be me or Mary. I knew it was a sexual thing. And he was like, no, it's not a sexual thing.
Nah, this writer was literally amazing. Like, I can definitely understand how you rewatched it multiple times. Mm-hmm. For some reason, just talking about it, it's been replaying in my head. Like I'm watching it a second time.
It's great. Like you can just totally understand the high school like dynamic.
Yeah, it is a really well crafted one, right? Like one other one that I love in my top 5 is Toradora, which is another really good high school one. I shocked, like, which is why I'm like, why did I forget how funny this was? I would probably put this over Toradora, and I love Toradora, but like, this is such a well crafted anime. There's no one I really dislike. No, I can vibe with so many of the characters. Mm-hmm. And just the progression, right? Like you see so much past it. Like in the span of 13 episodes, we go through 2 years. And it doesn't feel rushed at all. Like I feel like, oh, okay, I went through these good 2 years with them. Right. And I enjoyed every episode. It was flushed out. That's why I'm just like Jess. I'm gonna read the manga because I'm like, what did they leave out? Because it feels so like well done. Like I don't feel like there's anything left out.
The only part I want them to, and let me know when y'all get to that point. When they get married, if they get married.
Well, that's the thing. I want to say they're still I want to say it's still being written. Like I'm not sure if there's a light novel for this. I know there's a manga, obviously. But from the last things I had seen, so I don't know when or how far the manga's been updated, somebody had said the ending of the anime was basically right where the manga was. Okay. So the only thing that they had done a little bit further was that Toru and Yuki's relationship was a little bit quote unquote more fleshed out, but they were still ambiguous. But they were just vibing. The manga's
still ongoing.
Yeah, so
they're on probably a hiatus because the last update was January 14th, but that's for my app of this year.
Yeah, so we'll see, but we'll tell you. But like that's something I would love to see. I'd love to see them married.
As soon as that come out, Horimiya 2, I will be.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you Google it, so many people are like Horimiya season 2, Horimiya season 2, Horimiya season 2. It's like there's not enough source material for it. But
whoever the author is, we gotta help fund it.
Yeah, but no, this is really good. So I think good time to do ratings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the rigmarole after, because usually we do it before we jump in, but we all wanted to jump into this immediately. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, let him go first.
All right.
10 out of 10, definitely highly recommend. If you don't know, now you know. Yeah, this is Ace, and I definitely loved it. So I'm going to throw it over to Jess.
I'm a 10 as well.
Yes, you are. I had to do it.
Let me just play it off.
Hey, I'm a dad. I got to do my cringiness every now and then.
Not in front of me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I feel for your son. if we ever all
you
together,
should feel for me. But anyway, different topic. No, it's definitely a 10. The theme song, I was
bumping
great.
That theme song, man.
Is great. The art is great. Even the little like exaggerations that they do, like the little artwork, the different eyes, all of that is awesome. But definitely my favorite part is they didn't stick to just Hori and Miya. They did a growth on every single character in 13 episodes where it wasn't rushed. Yep. And I think that is why this really is a 10, is because they hit so many backstories and trying to get a good idea of everybody. And there's a lot of characters. I mean, if you open up the character list, I mean, they touch everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah. So I agree. Definite 10. And I think you kind of really just highlighted why I have this over Toradora. Toradora is great, right? It's the best tsundere kind of love story where like she like the tsundere is like where they act like angry instead of really like telling you their emotions.
That's what Sunday means?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, this kind of like shy, angry kind of thing. Like, they're the opposite of it. Like, if they're interested in the person, they're usually angry with them.
Oh,
right?
okay, I got you. I'm with you.
Like, it is a great one, and we'll eventually review it. But that is one of my favorites, but this is over that, I think, for that last point that Jess just said. Like, they flush out even the side characters.
Yeah.
Granted, they don't do like multiple episodes on it, but you don't need multiple episodes on it. They're side characters. You get their point across, and that's it, right? Like, it's the theme song or opening song. Really loved it. It's a kind of like a peaceful but like energetic kind of vibe. The sound design in this is so good. There's many times where it's literally just the sound of wind, but it's perfect. They have little kind of like pings and like when like the hue changes, like whenever sometimes somebody says something and like the gray background, and then you just see like a color outline come off of them. Like those different little changes were really cool. The attention to detail, so like the eyes in this anime are amazing. They even drew like the under eyelashes and stuff. Like they did a really good job. Like for instance, Miyamura, they're always talking about how pretty he is, and they do a good job of making him look pretty but still like a guy.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a, for lack of a better word, like a pretty bad boy. Yeah. Because like when he's got all his piercings, you're like, I don't know if I really want to mess with that dude. But like he's still a pretty boy at the same time. So it's very interesting. Like,
and that reminds me, this is the last part.
No, go ahead.
That scene where it gets cold in the classroom because he cut his hair and all the
girls.
Oh my
gosh, Hori!
I was dying laughing off that scene.
Yeah.
No, that when you were describing the scene, that reminded me of that. I was like, who would have even? I mean, obviously, you can think of it, but like,
Hori's reaction to the haircut was actually funny. Remember when she like freaked out? Freaked out. She was like, "What?"
Yeah, and he was like, he just really wanted like a change, basically. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. So, like it was
really great anime. Really, y'all should go watch it. And
yeah,
we would
definite recommend. Obviously, 10 out of 10.
We definitely would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. And I think the boys can tell y'all where you can hit us up, since I'm kind of just here and there. I kind of know them, but I don't really know them. That's pretty bad. But anywho, go ahead, boys.
All right. So before we do that, next week we're going to be doing a movie. I had to go look it up to make sure I had the right name. It's on Netflix. I had seen this one years ago, I think when it first came out. But it is Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Came out in 2013. Sci-fi adventure. And it's off of a anime that came out years ago. I never watched that anime, so I don't know if it's a continuation or just a revamp. But it'll be a good kind of little switch up from the romance that we've kind of had. But now onto that rigmarole. If you want to interact with us at all, Twitter is xanimeanonymous. Instagram, add another X at the end.
Audience is Anime Anonymous.
And if you want to shoot us an email with, again, just talking or recommendations, shoot us an email at xanimeanonymousx@gmail.com. But until then, I am CJ.
And this is Ace.
And I'm Jess.
And we will catch you next AA meeting.